Welcome to a video. I've been quiet for the last couple of weeks due to I'm going through some stuff. Due to me being at work for so long, there's been a lot of things going on. Obviously, I've been interviewing quite recently for a few roles. I'm not going to mention client names now. I was before, but I'm not going to. I'm going to kind of cut back on mentioning which clients I've interviewed for because I think it's just going to bite me in the back. I think it's going to bite me really hard, and it's going to be even more of a struggle as I've been out of work for so long now. Been out of work since February 2024. So the last interview I actually went for, which has kind of really annoyed me. The guy seemed really nice, but obviously when he was questioning me about the architectural designs on Entra ID, identity access management, basically what I did was I actually gave him end-to-end scope of delivery, scope, and architectural designs. So what happens from end-to-end delivery within a scope of any sort of project, whether it being greenfield, brownfield, within and following the NIST framework and zero trust entities. Well, it's a framework, but you've got entities of identity access management and crossover of different cybersecurity functions across the board. So I interviewed there last week, Wednesday. Got the feedback. Today, whether it was today. To be honest, the feedback wasn't great. I was really annoyed with the feedback because it wasn't true with what they said. They basically outlined that I did not understand zero trust frameworks. I did not understand Entra ID, and I didn't have Workday. And a lot of these were just excuses. In my eyes, I think it's just excuses. Employers are just creating job specs, just what they want to hit, what they want to get out of it, and it's a bucket list of different sorts of roles. And see, if I was to explain how these employers do it, it's a wish list, and it's a shopping list for a lot of it. They just want a candidate to do literally everything. So in my eyes, they want a candidate to be their little fucking bitch. That's plain and simple. Is the way I see it now. Back 5 years, so pre-2020, interviews never used to be like this. I used to walk in an interview. I'd leave a contract. I'll leave a contract within 3 to 6 months. I'm in another project straight away, whether it being a perm role or a contract. Most of the time, I usually only take contract. Over the last couple of years, I've just been doing perm because of pension. Obviously, I'm getting older and I want to contribute a lot more into my pension pot. Is the reason why I'm just focusing more on permanent permanent roles. But saying that, whether you're a perm or a contractor with the experience that I've got, I don't think it really matters anymore because this world is getting really, really tough. Apart from that, security world is changing. It's evolving. There's a lot of things that are going out. So I don't know if any of you lot have looked at any of the new identity and access management companies. For example, Savient, Okta, SailPoint. Obviously, SailPoint have since February this year, They took over a privileged access management company. CyberArk took over an identity and access management company, which obviously it's a massive big move that they both did, which changes things a bit in the identity and access management world. So previously, before all of this, pre 2025, SailPoint used to run really well with CyberArk. So SailPoint as the IAM SaaS provider, and CyberArk as the PaaS provider, product as a service. It used to run really well. You obviously back end AWS, Azure. And then you've got your DBs as Oracle, SQL. Oracle's quite messy, to be honest, when onboarding or when trying to upgrade the Oracle DB accounts, not DB accounts, the Oracle databases, it is one of the trickiest things that you can do when you do any sort of implementation. Speaking to one Oracle database engineer recently, he just basically advised me that it is so difficult. I've actually seen him in action, to be honest, because I've worked with him. I speak to him now and then. I don't speak to him all the time. This guy's really good. Obviously he's out of work as well. Obviously might do a podcast with him soon. Don't know when, but obviously I'm debating whether to carry on with this, but I'm going to try and push myself to try and reach to 500 and then see how I go, see if it excels. I'm going to try and go back to doing my two to three videos a week. But yeah, going back to this Oracle DB. So when upgrading SailPoint, I'm focusing more on Entra ID. A lot of my focus has shifted from SailPoint to Entra ID, is because I'm doing a lot of I've been training quite a few people within Entra ID. Entra ID is really interesting. It's a better platform for identity access management. Obviously, you've got your Azure AD, which has now changed to Entra ID, so that's more like really easy to do. A lot of it is just tasks. So I'll give you guys another example, which comes up quite frequently in any sort of interview. If you have a user which comes in, so Entra ID, what it does is any basic user which comes into a company, birthright access is followed, JML process is followed. So new joiner, they'll get their basic access, and if they're joining a certain team, what you as an engineer or a consultant or an architect would do is copy a user's profile which is already a person who's already employed in that role. You'd basically copy the same access as this new guy who's coming in. That's if they're going into literally the same, everything's literally the same, apart from their personal information. So accesses would be just putting into a task on Entra ID and just copying some of the accesses that person would require, but double checking with the hiring manager if this is true. So always double confirm when you're doing accessing on production environments. Development environments, you don't really need to ask a lot of permissions, but it's more on production. So anything on production, you need to double check everything. Confirm everything with managers. Hope you like this video. Hope you like this content. This was more about me just beefing about my interview, but yep, stay blessed. A lot of my content moving over to my YouTube channel, so I'll be putting that link in my bio soon. So stay tuned. Take care. Bye.